Very good evening, everyone. We'll wait for next 4 to 5 minutes so everyone can join, and then we can start our session. Very good evening, Niranjan. Yes, Niranjan. Today we will try to create some projects like how can we start our Node.js projects? What are some of the key characteristics or the important files which we have in our Node.js projects? So today we will look into those as well. So first we will cover our today's the yesterday doubts which we had. I have noted down yesterday's topic like when we were discussing. So we have some queries, right? So today first we will discuss that part, and we'll revise some of the concept which we learned yesterday or before yesterday, and then we will look into the next part, which would be some practice today on the Node.js side. So just waiting for some more minutes so other people can join, and then we will start. Hope everyone has good evening. In their colleges, they are like having good classes, good sessions. Very good evening, Nana. Amazing. The hand has gone. Okay. So like the students who are in right now in the colleges, are they studying related to programmings in their classes? Is it happening with everyone? They are hearing me little low today. Okay, let me check. What about now? Are you able to hear me now? Okay, great. So heavy rains, bad weather condition. Yes, so it's rainy season, so it's happening everywhere in north, even on the Mumbai or Pune side. I was just seeing the news, so it's the curfew has been already like they have started curfew as well, so people do not travel. So yeah, it's happening everywhere. So yeah, I was asking like whoever right now in the colleges, so in their semesters right now, are they studying any computer science? Like whoever in the computer science or doing BCA, are they studying any subjects or any programming right now in their colleges semester? Or if yes, so what language you guys are right now studying there? Okay, so nobody wants to answer this. Very good evening. So Nana is saying she has completed her MTech in CSE. Okay. What was the subject have you chosen while you were doing MTech there? What about now? Can you hear me? Okay. Great. Mm-hmm. Computer science. Okay. Great, Harsha. So yeah, so I think now we have all the audience. So let's start our session. And so let me revise some of the things which we have covered on Monday, and then we will see the queries which you guys have. I hope like the article and YouTube video which I said, everyone has watched it, right? What about you, Nilanjan, Nana? Have you guys or Ekta? Have you guys watched that video or blog? Oh, great, great, Joseph. Oh, because I have said the blog on Monday, right? Yes, the video about the Randall. How you guys find it that video? Was it interesting? Did you guys get to know something interesting there? Not completely clear. Okay. Ankit says it was interesting. Great. So I personally find the Randall video little bit interesting and more informative as well, as Nilanjan is saying. Right. We will see those techniques as well. I see. No problem, Nishant. I think they keep the recording, right, so you could get it from there. Or if somebody has already those videos and link, they can share it right now, so Nishant can watch it later. Okay. So great. Yes, the video will be definitely. It's a or like the person about the event loop. They will be explaining there, so that would be great. Okay, so great. So like on Monday, so we have started talking about Node.js, right? Like why Node.js comes into the picture, and who was the person who has brought Node.js in front of Word, and how JavaScript was like running only in the browser before Node.js comes in front of Word, right? And we have also like get to know that JavaScript we were only using for interacting with web pages. Correct? Interaction means we want to do some action on web pages. We were trying to do that with JavaScript. Before 2009, that was only the scope which JavaScript has. But after 2009, Node.js comes into the picture, and now we are able to run JavaScript outside of browser as well. Correct? We can run it anywhere. We just need to install the Node.js in our machine, and then we can run it. Like even if it's a Windows or a Linux or Mac or in cloud, anywhere. We just need to install Node.js binary, and then we can run the JavaScript on server. That was the first thing. That was the first thing you guys should remember, that before 2009, JavaScript was only able to run on the browsers. But after 2009, you can run JavaScript anywhere. You just need Node.js on your platform, and then you are free to run it. Now we will talk about the Node.js, because after JavaScript, because now JavaScript is able to run everywhere. So now we have to know why what Node.js does there, so it is able to run outside of browser as well. Correct? So we are clear about the JavaScript now. Now we will jump into the Node.js part. So now, in while we were reading about the Node.js, so we get to know that like five things I told you to remember about Node.js, right? First thing, Node.js is open source. So you will, when I said that open source, you can simply search the Node.js GitHub, and you will get the GitHub website of Node.js, where all of Node.js code, which you install in your systems, stay there. Correct? I hope you guys are able to still hear me, and my video is also clear. Not facing any lagging or anything. Okay, great. Because yeah, thank you everyone. So yeah, so as I was saying that yeah, so yeah, let's come back to the Node.js part. So yeah, so as we were saying that, so 5 things which I told about the Node.js, it was open source, and I repeat again that open source means it's available in GitHub. So you can simply search it. I have already showed you how can, then you can find the code there. That was the first thing about Node.js. Second thing was it is a runtime environment for JavaScript file, like for running JavaScript. Correct? It is runtime environment for JavaScript. And when we talk about runtime environment, it means for running JavaScript outside of browser, whatever things are needed, everything Node.js has. Whatever things are needed, whatever things are needed to run JavaScript file outside of browser, Node.js has everything. We will see what are these things which I'm saying as everything, right? We will see these things in after some time. What are these things which are needed to run JavaScript outside of browser, right? So that was the second thing. Node.js provide us that whole runtime environment. That was the second thing which we discussed. And the third thing I remember, which we discussed, that it uses V8 JavaScript engine, which also used by the Google Chrome browser. While running JavaScript on browser, Google Chrome uses V8 engine, and the same V8 engine Node.js community also used for running JavaScript files there. Correct. So there was a third thing, that Node.js also has V8 JavaScript engine. Correct, which is provided by Google Chrome, and the Google community or Google team, like Google already maintaining that project. So it's still stable, and they are continuously improving the performance of V8 engine. So we are good there. Correct. So these are 3 things which I told you. And the fourth thing, then we started discussing about some of the the ways why Node.js is better than the Java and PHP in 2009. Why people has started moving towards the Node.js. So there we get to know about 2 things. First is asynchronous, and second one was non-blocking. Correct. The the first thing was asynchronous, and second one was the non-blocking. And while we were reading about these things, we also get to know that Node.js runs on the single thread, right? So now if we include these 3, so Node.js is open source, it provides JavaScript runtime, it uses V8 JavaScript engine, and it is single threaded, asynchronous, non-blocking. These are 6 terms which we can tell about the Node.js. Anyone is going to ask you what is Node.js, you can just simply remember these 6 things, and then you can tell that this is Node.js. Then people will start asking to you, what is asynchronous, what is non-blocking here, what is single threaded, right? So now we will try to understand now that, yes, Joseph, we will go into the asynchronous now. So now we will try to understand what is asynchronous. And yesterday somebody has asked, like not yesterday, on Monday, somebody has asked me the difference between asynchronous and multi-threading, right? So today first we will see these 3 things: synchronous, asynchronous, and multi-threading, right? So we will understand these 3 things. Correct. So let's try to understand this with one analogy. Like we will try to take some real time examples, and we will try to understand how these 3 things work. Correct. Because these 3 things are just approaches. These 3 things are just approaches, or we can say the designs, how we solve any problem. How we solve any problem. We want to solve this problem by synchronous, or we want to solve this problem by asynchronous, or we want to solve this problem by multi-threading. Correct. Dipanshu is saying is asynchronous. Oh, you will tell me this. I will first tell you the analogy and then you tell me which one is better. Asynchronous is better or synchronous is better. So let me take one analogy here or real time example. Like I am one, like I want to prepare tea and Maggie for me. Correct. I want to prepare tea and Maggie. Now I will first go with the synchronous approach. Everyone just here, and I am just repeating it again. I want to prepare tea and Maggie for me. Correct. So according to synchronous approach, what I will do? First, I will enter into the kitchen. Now I will take one teapot, and then I will put some water into that. Then I will put some sugar, then like tea leaves, and then I will just wait for boiling it. You guys are still able to hear me, right? Because I am seeing some like some pop-up is coming for ideal time predicted. Okay, great. Okay, so as I was saying that I want to prepare tea and Maggie for me. So as a synchronous approach, what I will do, I will go, I will put my, like I will just turn on my gas and I will put my teapot, I will put some water, I will put some sugar and tea leaves, and then I will wait for boiling it. And once it boils, then we will put some milk. Right now our tea is prepared. We'll wait for some more minute, and then we will take the tea out of that. Right now, next what we will do, we will now put another like pot, and then we will put some water, and then we will wait for some boiling, and then we will put the Maggie there. Correct. Now after waiting for some time, now our Maggie is also prepared. So as you can see, as a synchronous approach, we like it has taken more than like 10 to 15 minutes. First, we have completed the whole tea process. Then we started the next Maggie process, and then we completed the whole Maggie process as well. So now you can see it could, like for preparing tea, it could take 7 minutes, right? And then for preparing Maggie, it will also take 5 minutes. So total, it has taken 12 minutes to complete one process, one task, right? And the task was prepare tea and Maggie. That was the synchronous approach where you tried this. Correct? Now yeah, we are good with the synchronous approach. Now we will do the same thing with the asynchronous approach. Now we will do the same thing with asynchronous approach. So now the asynchronous approach is, now first we will put the teapot, we will put some water, we will put some sugar, we will put some tea leaves. Now while tea is boiling, now what we will do, we will take the second pot, and then we will put some water in second pot. And now the parallelly we are just trying to, we have just started like second stove as well, and then we started boiling the Maggie water there as well, right? And then we put the Maggie there. Once now tea has been boiled, now we will again come to the tea stove, and then we will put some milk there. Right now we will go again, and then we will stir a little bit of our Maggie. Correct. And then now once the tea is prepared, now we will switch off that stove, and then we will take out our tea. And in the same time, now we will go and check for our Maggie stove, and then we will take the Maggie out. So at this time, as you can see that with the asynchronous approach, we are doing the same thing like parallelly, right? We have started this thing. Now we will just like come out of that, and we will do the another task, right? And the same time, once that task is completed, we can go back again and then correct it. Correct. And then we can go for this thing, right? This is the asynchronous approach, and it will definitely reduce your time, because in earlier we were taking 7 minutes for that, and then 5 minutes for that, 5 minutes for Maggie. But this time, in that 7 minutes, we have already done that. Like it could take 7 to 8 minutes, right? 8 to 9 minutes we can consider maximum, right, to complete the both things. So that's what we are saying as a asynchronous approach. In asynchronous approach, we are not waiting for first process to complete. We will just leave that process. Our task is, we will just start the process. Whatever resources it is needed, we will provide it. Then we will come out of it, and then we will start the next process. and then we will start next process, and then whatever things are needed for second resource, we will provide it. Then we are again standing like at the same time when the tea is boiling and the Maggie is preparing. You do not have anything, right? You can do, like, you can start reading the newspaper at the same time. That's what I'm saying. This is the asynchronous. In asynchronous, you do not need to wait for any task result. You can just leave the results. Once these things are ready, you will automatically get the event, or you will get automatic, like in the tea case, you will automatically see that right now tea has boiled. In the same way, in the Maggie case, you will see that Maggie is prepared, right? In a similar way, on the computer side also, once these process completed, we get the event back, and those event we read it, and then we say that now this process is completed, now we have to do the next thing. That's what the asynchronous. Now this is the asynchronous approach. Now let's try the multi-threaded approach. What will happen in multi-thread approach for the same thing? In multi-thread approach, like when you will follow the same problem with multi-threaded approach, now you will say that while preparing your tea, you like your mother also come into the kitchen. Now you are preparing your tea, your mother is preparing the Maggie at the same time, right? Now it could take less time than asynchronous, because in the asynchronous you have to start the process, then you have to go for the second one. But in the multi-threaded you can understand, now you and your mother both has come into the picture, and now they both are doing the task parallelly. That's what the multi-threading is, right? So see the difference between all three processes, right? In the synchronous, you were doing everything, but you are waiting for completing the first step, first process, then you are going for the next process, correct? But in asynchronous, you are not waiting for completing the first process. At the same time, once the process has started, you have picked the second task, and you have started working on second task. Once the second task is progress, you are now free. You can choose any other task as well. This is the benefit of asynchronous approach. But in the multi-thread approach, now you are calling multiple people. That's what happened in the multi-threading. In multi-threading, in our system, we create multiple thread. And when we create the multiple thread, means we are calling multiple people there. And those multiple people are now doing those tasks parallelly. After completing those tasks, now we have to sync those results, right? So that's the core difference between multi-threading and synchronous and asynchronous. Let me take now your question. So Dipanshu was saying, but sir, now it is sounding like multi-thread with asynchronous. Dipanshu, which problem you are talking about? The second scenario, or like asynchronous scenario you are talking about? The third one? Because it seems all three has like proper differences. Let me take the Vikas Dube's question in meanwhile. Sir, I can understand the Maggie and tea concept, but don't understand the asynchronous. Can you please let me know a little bit of Hindi, sir? Okay. So से देखो विकास क्या हो रहा है कि हम जब सिंक्रोनस की बात कर रहे हैं, तो सिंक्रोनस में हमने क्या किया कि हमने टी को चढ़ा दिया, ठीक है? अब हमने टी को पूरा होने का वेट किया, टी जब पूरा प्रिपेयर हो गया, हमने तब उसको निकाल लिया और हमने फिर मैगी बनाना स्टार्ट किया. ये था हमारा सिंक्रोनस अप्रोच. आसिंक्रोनस में हमने क्या किया कि हमने टी को चढ़ाया, अब टी जब तक बॉयल होने का समय ले रहा है, तब तक हमने क्या किया, हमने पैरेलली दूसरे स्टोव को जलाया और दूसरे स्टोव पे हमने अपने मैगी को रख दिया. अब हमने मैगी में अपना जो भी उसको चाहिए था, पानी चाहिए था, और मैगी डाल दिया उसको, ठीक है? अब तुम यहाँ देखो आसिंक्रोनस का बेनिफिट कि नाउ बोथ प्रोसेस आर हैपनिंग. नाउ यू आर स्टिल फ्री. Now you can do, like, you can read the newspaper, you can do the third task, you can clean some vessels as well. And जैसे ही आपकी टी प्रिपेयर हो जाएगी, तुम देख लोगे कि भाई अब बॉयल होने लगी है, तो तुम तुरंत जाओगे उसका स्टोव बंद कर दोगे. तुमने देखा मैगी प्रिपेयर हो गया, मैगी का स्टोव बंद कर दिया. ये है आसिंक्रोनस अप्रोच, जो कि हम लोग ऑलरेडी करते हैं. We all are doing asynchronous approach every day in our life. That's a better way. But in the multi-threading में क्या होगा, हमको अभी भी दो टास्क दिए गए हैं, बट हम क्या कर रहे हैं, हम किसी एक और बंदे को ले आ रहे हैं अपने साथ. हम वो काम नहीं कर रहे हैं, हमने किसी एक और बंदे को ले आए और वो बंदा आकर के अब वो काम कर रहा है पैरेलली आपके साथ, और आपने दो थ्रेड को अब यूज कर लिया है. सो दैट्स व्हाट द डिफरेंस बिटवीन सिंक्रोनस asynchronous and multi-threading. I hope that clears your doubt, because okay, because okay. Ankit was saying in multi-thread threading we use more than one thread. Yes, that's true. That's the case actually. Whenever we are talking about multi-threading, we are going to use multiple threads. And in Java, see, in JavaScript, it's a single threaded. That's why JavaScript called as a single thread with asynchronous behavior. Correct? Because JavaScript only runs in single thread, and in that single thread we have. I'm including two more things. Just try to mesmerizing or memorize it. In single thread, we have one call stack and one memory heap. Correct? In one thread, we have one call stack, one memory heap, one event loop, and one callback queue. These are the four things. We have only one. Correct? So yeah, that was about the multi-threading and single threading. Let me take the another question also. Aradhya was asking, doing task 2 while waiting for task 1 response in asynchronous. Doing task 2 while waiting for task 1 response. Yes, that's true. We have started the task 1 process. Now we will do the task 2 process. We will start the task 2 things, and then we will wait for the task 1 response here. And I will show you. I have yesterday already showed you. Once the response come, it will come into the callback queue, and then event loop will pick that and put it again into the call stack. I will show you that thing in visualization. I will show you. Just wait. Just understand these things. And JavaScript is the middle one, asynchronous one. Uses single thread. Okay. So now let's try to relate everything, like how Java, whatever I told you yesterday, with the asynchronous behavior. Let's read some more questions. Uh, Dipanshu was asking second one, but no one clears. Okay. Uh, why it is called single thread? We use multi-threading approach in exams. We use multi-thread. Eating pizza, slides we spent at the time multi-threading. Eating pizza, slides, lonely, one by single thread. Nice examples. Clear, because clear. Okay. Likhit is saying, then how single threaded will be on advantage? Yes. See, this is the advantage actually. I told you the advantage of single thread, that you are free to do multiple tasks while you are waiting for, while you are like, when the other things are already running, why you are waiting, you can choose other tasks also, right? That's what the asynchronous benefit. When our tea is preparing, when we are preparing Maggie, now the main thread is free. What we can do next things. That's what actually, see, what happened in the, if we talk about the web pages follow the single thread approach. When you are download, like, if you are not following the single thread approach, and you like, in the web page, just consider in web page there is one button. At that button you have to click, and that request will go and download some file from the server. Okay, that is the scenario. That is scenario, right? You have one button on UI. You have to click on that button, and that button has to go into the server and bring some big file for you. Fine. Now what will happen if you are following the single thread, the synchronous approach? Once you will click on that, now your web page is stuck. Now your web page is stuck, and now you cannot do any other thing on that web page. And once the file is like, come back from the server, and you are downloaded in your browser, only after that you can do any other thing on the web page. That is a synchronous approach. But with a single thread asynchronous approach, that request will go, and whoever is going to handle that request, that person will take that request. Now your main thread is free. Like, main thread task was bring your request to the correct person, whoever is going to do that thing. Bring your request from your UI to the correct person, then you are free. Now you can do anything on the web pages. Now you can, like, while that's what right now most of the websites are doing, that you can click on that. Now you can do the in the same website, you can do other things. That's why single threaded asynchronous is benefit. That's why Node.js goes with this way. Node.js, that's why when multiple requests are coming on the Node.js, it was not breaking. It can take multiple, that's why it was easily taking multiple requests, because handling requests, it was not Node.js task. It was the hardware task to make the SHP calls. So that's why what Node.js does, whenever like multiple network request calls comes to the Node.js server, like database fetching or any other. So what Node.js does, Node.js take all those requests and then put it into the right place where those call has to go. Now Node.js thread is free. Now it can take more calls again. So that's how Node.js work. And I will show you with the examples also. Let me take the next question also. Anand was saying, okay, then multi-threading is better than asynchronous. I don't think so. Because you can see, right, the benefit of asynchronous, you are using less resources and doing more things. In multi-threading, you have to use more resources, right? See, multi-threading Node.js, we can also, let me tell you one more thing. I think this is one interview question, which it's little bit like separate, like which is related to our discussions only, but it is an interview question. People generally ask, because Node.js is a single thread, can we do multi-threading here? And what is the purpose? Like, you should first understand what are the purpose when we need multi-threading. Multi-threading is only needed when we want to use the CPU, when we want to use the processing. See, in our machine, CPU does not do everything. You have to be, if you are like, let me little bit tell you about the OS part. I think CSE student already know that, but if they don't know, let's just keep this in your mind. In your machine, CPU does not do anything. Like, if you want to do input and output, at that time CPU is not doing anything. CPU is free at that time. If you are trying to make any network call, which is going to be like any other DNS or any other like what we say, the DNS server, or like the internet, internet providers. If they are going to internet providers, now there is no need for CPU to do anything. We only need CPU when we want to do any computation, like we want to calculate hash value for anything, we want to encrypt some of the things, right? Those are the scenarios when we needed CPUs to do, right? So at that time we create multi-thread, because we want, and see, multi-thread also does not run parallelly. If you have read about the OS, at one time only one thread runs, and they use some scheduling algorithm. Based on those scheduling algorithm, thread goes one by one in the running area where OS is going to do any of the computation, where CPU we are going to use. They use some of the Robin. These things you do not need to remember. First thing, you do not need to remember these things. These are some extra knowledge, and do not, like, if you are not able to understand, that's fine. These are not the concept which are going to be like asked in many places. No. So that's why I'm just like, do not feel panic anyhow. That's what I want to convey here. Let me again try to explain things in very easy way. See, when we talk about multi-threading, in multi-threading, we say that we want to create multiple threads. And the purpose of multiple threads are, we want to use our CPU core in efficient way. Efficient way means, and why we want to use CPU cores? Because CPU does some of the processing very faster, and we only need faster CPU when we want to do big calculation. Like, we have like 1500 array, and we want to calculate some values. At that time we will go into the CPU processing. But there are so many cases where we do not need CPU processing, like input output call, like reading data from files, reading data from some other server, any network call. In network call, CPU processing doesn't have anything. You need to connect to some ISP server, then download data from there. CPU is not needed there, right? So in your machine, CPU does not do everything. CPU just assign things to other places as well in your machine. So that's why Node.js has also seen this thing, right? So that's why Node.js, what it does, Node that. So let me tell you, let me come back to the question which where people are asking. When people ask in interview, can we do multi-threading in Node.js? So we have understood multi-threading. We need only multi-threading when we want to do CPU intensive task. Correct? Only on those scenarios we need the multi-threading scenario. Otherwise, if we do not need us, if we do not have any CPU intensive task, we can simply do it because we are following the asynchronous. If there is no, if there is anything which is not CPU oriented, we will put it into some other, like whoever is responsible for that, and we will just use the single thread for that. So, but we can achieve multi-threading as well in Node.js. If somebody is asking you, can we achieve multi-threading in Node.js? Yes, we can achieve multi-threading in Node.js. There is some modules which I will tell you about what are modules, but just understand there are some ways with those ways we can achieve multi-threading, right? So multi-thread, like there are worker threads, there are child process. These are some packages which Node.js has provided us to do multi-threading when we have CPU intensive tasks. But Node.js generally recommends do intensive task with Node.js. If you want to do any CPU intensive task, then go with Java. Is it stuck right now also, Nilanjan? Okay. Okay, great. So yeah, so yeah, as I was saying, okay, as I was saying that we can do multi-threading in Node.js with worker and with worker thread and child process. So we will discuss about this later, but just you remember these things that Java Node.js is a single threaded asynchronous doesn't mean we cannot do multi-threading. We can do that. Okay, but Node.js simply recommend that for multi-threading, you guys should use some other languages like Java or .NET. They have the capabilities directly do multi-threading, right? Okay, so now coming back to the like yes, now I think we are clear about the synchronous, asynchronous, and multi-threading. And Node.js is the middle one where we use single thread and the and we use the single thread and asynchronous behavior. Correct. So let me show you what we have designed yesterday, right? So let me just create one slide here. Let me choose my pen here. Okay. Right. So like yesterday, when we were seeing up any like program like simple function, right? So we were saying everything in JavaScript goes through phases, right? The first phase is call stack, correct? I told you these components of Node.js runtime. This is our call stack. Okay, one thing I told you yesterday, everything goes first to the call stack, and this call stack is single thread. Now try to understand, this call stack is single thread. Every synchronous thing, see, if we are not explicitly telling to the JavaScript that we want asynchronous behavior, then it is everything is synchronous in JavaScript, right? If we are writing multiple functions, then all those functions will go there, right? And then after the call stack, we move things to the different queues, right? Here we have timers, here we have network, here we have input output. These are all the asynchronous behavior things, right? And there are set timeout already written it, like process.next tick. These things will come here. Then 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 we have the callback queue, correct? These things you guys have to remember. Callback queue, there we have queue. Then in the middle we have the event loop, and people mostly ask what is event loop. And I told you the purpose of event loop is simply check if call stack is empty, and if call stack is empty, pick one thing from the callback queue and put it here. Because I told you this is our single thread, this is our main thread. Call stack is our main thread, right? So now you can understand, I am the person who was going to prepare tea and Maggie, right? And in call stack I got two tasks. I got two tasks. One is prepare tea, and second one was prepare Maggie. I am the main person, correct? Right now, I got two tasks: prepare tea and prepare Maggie. I understood that prepare tea is the part of input output. So I will take prepare tea from here. Let's erase it. I will take prepare tea from here and put it into the input output. Correct? Then, yeah, then I started working on the prepare Maggie, because now I have started preparing the tea. I have given it to the right person, right? Now what I will do, I will look for the prepare Maggie. Now I find it out. This is the task of this one, the process next tick. Now what I will do, I will put it into there. Now I will clear this one. Now you can see our main thread is free. Now I am free. Correct? Now I am free. Our call stack and main thread is free. I can take any other task also now, right now. Right? Now what will happen, once the tea and coffee, once the tea and Maggie is prepared, they will come into the callback queue. So now we can say like the tea has prepared first. So prepared tea will come into the callback queue, right? And now after that, you can say after 1 second, now the prepare Maggie also come into this. Correct. Now, as we see, there is nothing in the call stack. What event loop will do? Event loop will put the prepare tea again back into the call stack, right? Again, prepare tea will come, and now we will see. Now, this is the step. Now we are going to stop, like the close the burner or stop the. We are going to off the switch off. We are going to off the stove, right, for the prepare tea. Now our prepare tea will complete it, and now this prepare tea will go out of our call stack. Now prepare tea task is completed. Now event loop will again check. Okay, now call stack again empty. It will bring prepare Maggie also again, and then now prepare Maggie is also done. This is how the things are working in Node.js. Correct. Let me show you one more example. I have, sir, but first Maggie task should be get complete because it's above T stack, right? It's above T stack. Oh, no, no, no. Actually, it depends on how much time it is taking here. How much time it is taking here. Like, see, whatever we are assigning from there doesn't mean that first the task T will be prepared first, or the Maggie is going to prepare first. Whoever is going to prepare first, that person will come to the callback queue, right? It's not like that. Who like from where like the prepared Maggie was top on the stack, so that's why it will come first in the stack. No, it is first in the stack. It will be first assigned. I can understand it will be first assigned to the respective thread, but once that after that the T will be assigned, whoever is going to complete first, that person will come first into the callback queue, and that person will be executed into the call stack. Understood? Okay. Ekta. So start from call stack, then put it in the API queues. Once ready, it will be put to callback queue, and event loop will constantly check call stack and callback queue and put task there to get great. That's the idea about the Node.js. That's how Node.js is working right now. Let me share some of the I have downloaded some of the examples. Let me share those as well. Let me share my screen, and I will come back in some seconds to see if everyone is able to see my screen or see me or hear me. Yeah. I hope you guys can see my screen. Right? You guys can see my screen, right? Let me come back to the chat first. Okay. Okay, great. So first we will understand the call stack again. Okay, how the things like there will be you can see there is one JavaScript file which has saved three functions. Correct? The multiply, which is just multiplying two numbers which we are passing, and then there is a square which is internally calling the multiply, right? Then there is a print square which is calling the square, correct? And at the end we are calling the print square, correct? I hope you guys are able to see my screen, right? Or hear me as well. Correct. Okay. Thank you. So now we will see how these things will be executed in call stack, right? Correct. So let me okay, open this one from the first thing. Okay, what happened? Let me open it again. Yeah. So as you can see, let me just come back to the screen. Okay, great. You guys are able to see me. Correct. So yeah, so you can see, first we are going to pick the print square because these functions are declared. Nobody has called. That's why these functions will not be picked into the call stack. But print square has been called. So that's why first print square will come into the call stack. Correct? Now print square will come. Now we will go into the print square and we'll see console.log is coming. So let's see. You can see the console.log hasn't come into the call stack. Now we'll see inside the console.log, we have square n. So you can see now the square n will come into the stack, right? Now we will go into the square n and we will see we are calling the multiply there. So you can see now the multiply come into the picture, right? Now the multiply, when we will do multiply, we will see the return a and b has come. Now there is nothing else to do, and you can understand this all things are happening on CPU, right? Because this is the computation is happening. That's why everything is happening in main thread. Correct? There is no other thing is happening. This is a single thread. Call stack is single thread, and everything happening in a single thread. And everything is happening right now synchronous. Everything is happening right now synchronous. Correct? So let's see. Now what is the what will happen next? Now it will come back. It will start coming back. Now the a and b will be calculated, then multiply will be calculated, then the square will be calculated, then the console.log will happen, and then the print square will happen. Right? You guys understood the call stack, how the call stack is working? Okay, great. Now we will see the blocking one. The blocking, now we will see, now we will understood synchronous with blocking. Yeah. So now we can okay, let me just again increase this. Okay. Something is okay. Yeah, let's open it again. Yeah, you guys can see my screen, right? Okay, so now see, we are using, okay, let me come back to that screen again. Yeah, so we are using here read file sync. And when we are writing sync, it means we want this process to happen synchronously, right? So now once we will so see first thing, we will go into the fs read file sync, and because we want this process to happen synchronously, it will not leave our main thread. It will not leave our main thread. And somehow, if that slash foo is not available in a repo from where it is trying to read, then this is stuck. It will not go into the next file. Like you can take the example in this, like it is trying to read some file, but somehow foo is not available, but slash bar is available. But due to we want to read it synchronously, it will not leave our main thread, and this process will continuously stuck there, and it will not go into the next screen. See, it will not go into the next screen. It will again stuck in there. That's why the problem is with the synchronous. Understood? That's why synchronous makes our process uh, blocking. Som was saying, I saw the video, it was using for each loop asynchronously. How? So see, we can use the for loop. Inside the for loop, we can keep some of the like asynchronous things as well. I will show you one set timeout example with set timeout. Okay, repeat blocking. See, my example was when we want, see in this example, as we can see, fs.read file sync, right? When we are writing sync with any method, we are saying that this particular method is now synchronous, right? That's first thing you have to remember in Node.js. Anywhere if you see sync after the method, it means that method is synchronous explicitly, because fs provides read file also, which is asynchronous. But in the case of synchronous, what is happening in the successful case, if slash foo or slash var is available, it will successfully read it. First slash foo will be reading and then slash var will be reading. This is the synchronous behavior, right? First T will be prepared, then the task will be prepared. then the Maggie will be prepared. In the same case, first slash foo will be reading, then slash var will be reading. But if somehow slash foo is not available, then our call stack is stuck. It is not going to read the next one. It will throw like some error at the end, and it will not read the next one. That is the problem with the syncing, that the synchronous one. So that's what I was trying to like tell you guys. Sometimes synchronous behaves, synchronous do create some problems. That's why we love to go with the asynchronous behavior. But there are some of the requirements. There are some of the scenarios when we have to go with sync as well. You can understand, there is some file which we need to read. Otherwise further code will not execute. There are some of the scenarios it happens like that. In those scenarios, the synchronous will help you more, because you have to read first all the files, then only the next part can be executed. So in those scenarios, synchronous can help you. Let me show you now the asynchronous example. Then we will come into the questions, right? Okay, it is taking, because when I'm selecting any image from there, it is just stuck. Okay, now you can see whenever we are talking about the asynchronous behavior, as you can simply see, call stack will come into the picture, web APIs or system APIs, everything will come into the picture, event loop will come into the picture, and callback queue come into the picture. Correct? So now let me see if you guys are able to see my screen or not. Let me know into the comment. Okay, great, Joseph. Thank you. So now you can see here the first line, it's a synchronous console.log. It doesn't need any like system APIs or web APIs part, right? But set timeout, it's the part of web API, correct? And after that, we can see the console.log, right? If it is the synchronous, now like if we just take the example of synchronous behavior, and if we consider set time is not asynchronous, then you know what will happen. First hi will be printed, then it will wait for 3 seconds, and then it will print hi from asynchronous, then it will print hi, I am not blocked, right? So if it is going synchronous way, then this line will be blocked until this whole method, this whole function will be executed. That is the problem with synchronous. But JavaScript comes with the asynchronous approach. It will not wait for this string to complete. It will execute this line. Let me show you. First time console.log hi will come into the call stack, right? And then you can see in the down, hi has been printed. In the console, you can see on the down, right? Now the set timeout will come into the picture. But now set timeout is the asynchronous behavior. It's a part of web API. It will be moved to the web API part, to the respected place, wherever it has to go. It's a web API part. That's why it is going there. If it's not a web API, it's a network call. It will go into the network side. Now our call stack is empty. Now our main thread is empty. Now the next console.log will come into the picture. Right? Now our next console.log is coming to the picture. And there the timer is going on 3 seconds. Right? Now our console.log is still going on. Now console.log is still going on. Now we have printed hi, I am not blocked. Right? Now we will wait. Now our call stack is empty. Now we will wait for that 3 seconds to complete. Now that foo is still running. Now 3 seconds has been happened. Now that particular thing has come back to the callback queue. Now our call stack is empty. So what event loop will do? Will pick this foo method from here and put it back into the call stack. Correct. So now it has gone to the foo. Now that foo callback has gone to the call stack. Now this particular console will be running here. Right. Now next console will be running here, and now we can see hi from asynchronous callback. That's how things work in the Node.js. Now let me see your questions. Okay, so I think we are good here. Now we have completed the console is also part of web APIs. Yes, in the browser it's a part of web API, but in the like in the Node.js, they have make it like simply as a the method which Node.js provides. So it does not need any like other queues to follow there. Visualization make things more clear, more clear. So Nayan was saying explain web APIs. So see, web APIs are the browser part. So browser has come with the web APIs. So web APIs has some of the methods like HTTP fetch or set timeout, set interval, set immediate. These are some of the like method or things which web API provides to us. And console.log and these things are simply like some of the methods. Whenever we are starting Node.js, they all automatically loaded there, so you do not need to call these things to go for web APIs, right? They have included all that in the package. Okay, so now we have understood these things. So now I want to show you some more things which comes with the Node.js rather than these things. And because see, everywhere everyone talk about only these things when they talk, when they talk in interviews, or when you are trying to explain anyone that how the Node is working. These are only the things are needed, but there are some more things are included in Node.js which you guys should know, which you guys should only know. No need to remember those things. These, and I haven't seen anyone is asking those things in the interviews, because those are some internal things of Node.js which you guys should know. But if you are not able to understand, that's fine. Nobody is going to ask these things. You just need to see these things and understand if it's okay. Okay, so Ankit was saying only those functions will go into the web API which use web API function. Then it goes into the call queue, and then event loop will check and pass into the call stack. Yes, but yeah, that's right. You guys need to understand that much flow till now. Okay, let me share my thing. Let me share some of the things which are little bit new for you. Okay, and we will explain. We will just talk little bit about them. Okay, which questions are not asked? Yes, so these are some of the questions will not be asked, which we are going to discuss now. Okay, let me open the URL. And let me share my screen. I hope you guys are able to see my screen. Okay, thanks, great. So yeah, now we are going to the Node.js website. This is a Node.js website, and we are seeing the dependencies of Node.js, right? We have discussed V8, right? And there are some other dependencies also Node.js has, which is libv. We haven't discussed anything about libv, and there are LLHTP, and there are some other dependencies also Node.js has. But these are, you guys should be just remember the name of libv, because I have not seen anything about the LLHTTP, C areas, OpenSSL, JEtlib, nowhere till now. No, if somebody is asking any questions, they are just asking about the V8, and you guys should be knowing about the libv, because so see, yeah, this is the part which are some of the dependencies which Node has, and if you will go into the Node.js repo and the GitHub, you will see all about these dependencies here, right? So now let's see about now. And one more thing you guys should be remember, when we talk about this structure which we were talking here, right? The callback and the callback queue and call stack and event loop. Now we will divide these things according to the according to these dependencies, right? What is dependency? Dependencies means the Node.js has these internal things. Without these internal dependencies, Node.js will not be complete. Node.js as a runtime environment will not be completed. Okay, so earlier I told you, earlier before 2009, JavaScript was running only on the browser. But after that, Node.js comes into the picture, and now JavaScript was running anywhere. For running JavaScript anywhere, Node.js needed some dependencies, right? Dependencies means Node.js needed some things to do processing, right? So that's what the dependencies are about. And the Node.js has two bigger dependencies. On first is on V8, and second one is the libv. First one is the V8, second one is the libv. Nobody is talking about libv in any interviews because it's a part of Node.js. So nobody bothers about the libv. They just try to understand, like what libv does. They just understand. See, all the asynchronous things like event loop, callback queue. These are all the part of libv only. V8 only has the call stack and memory heap. V8 provides you call stack and memory heap. After that, event loop and all the asynchronous operations, file reading, DNS fetching, all these things are happening through the libv. And libv is also only created for Node.js. In 2009, libv is only created for the Node.js, right? And and the of libv is only to interact Node.js code to the OS code. Libv was like we can say a bridge between the OS and the Node.js code, right? Because see, let me tell you one more thing. There is two things which you should know. One is, do not deviate from this. Just try to understand this, the new thing which I'm telling. Then we will relate this thing to the libv and our Node.js part. So first thing, try to understand interpreted and compiled. So JavaScript is an interpreted language. JavaScript, Python, Perl, these are interpreted language. We interpret them, and then we and wait for this. JavaScript, Python, Perl, these are interpreted language. Java, C has C, and Rust. These are, yeah. We will go back into the libv part. Just try to understand this thing, then we will go back again to the libv part. Try to understand interpreted and compiled. Interpreted are JavaScript, Python, Perl. These are interpreted language. And Java, C has C, these are compiled language. They have compiler with them, JVM, right? Which has everything. JVM is also runtime for Java, right? Which has everything, same as Node.js is also a runtime. Okay, so now this JavaScript and Python and Perl are interpreted language. Okay, what does it mean? Interpreted language does not provide us the code. When they convert this JavaScript language to any other part, they do not provide us the code which can directly run into the machine. Compile, when we do compilation, we got the code which could directly run into the machine. We got the binary code which could directly run into the machine. That is the benefit of compiled language. Java provide you the binary file directly after compilation, but uh, Python, JavaScript, they do not, when they interpret it, they do not provide you direct code. They provide you the code which pass to other languages, right? This, see, interpreted means we are interpreting something which could be understand by some other person. Interpret, simple meaning of interpreting is this only. Like, if I'm speaking English, and if there is someone who is speaking Hindi, we need one interpreter in the middle who can convert my language to that person. That is the meaning of interpreter. Okay, so JavaScript and all these languages are interpreted language. They convert into so the interpreter convert my language to the other language, so in that form, so the other language can understand, right? So that's why interpreter convert my JavaScript to the C++ code. So libv and V8, they both are fully developed in C and C++, right? libv is fully developed in C, and V8 are developed in C++, right? So JavaScript first interpreted in a form so these C++ and C can understand, and then these C++ and C create the compilation code, and then that compiled code run into the machine part. See, these things, just try to understand. It's not complicated. See, JavaScript is interpreted language, and we have understood what is interpreted. Interpreted does not provide a output which directly runs into the machine. No, it provides the output so the other language can understand. Okay, Java also does the same, Python also does the same, because these are very high level language. So we first convert these high level language to the low level language like C and C hash, and then C hash or C++. Then these C hash and C++ language convert these thing into the machine level code. Are we clear here about the interpreter and the compiler? Okay, thank you. So now, yes, the compiled language, that's why they are faster. That's totally true. Okay, so now, see, Node.js is also platform independent actually. We can create the, like, we can create the, install it in any platform, by the way. Okay, now we will come into the libub part, libub and V8 part. Okay, now we'll come into the libub and V8 part. Okay, now we have understood the interpret and compile. Now we have understood JavaScript also. So V8 converts JavaScript into the interpreted language, interpreted form. And then that interpreted form goes to the libub, and then libub do all the operating system tasks. So you can understand libub, whatever we have discussed from yesterday till now about the asynchronous behavior. Libub is the libub is the main part. It's a core engine of Node.js who is doing everything. But nobody discussing about the libub, because we everywhere what libub does, that's what we discuss. Libub has event loop. Libub provides the event loop. If you will read about the Libub, you will get to know that Libub has the event loop capabilities. Libub also has one thread pool, because there are some of the things which are CPU intensive. So at that time, Libub uses this thread pool to create the threads internally. Node.js does, see, Node.js has single thread. Node.js has left. Once the interpreted part has come to the libub, now Node.js doesn't have to do anything. Node.js is now ready to take any other actions. But now libub is the one who is handling everything, and libub is the code which is written in C and C++. And now C and C++ are handling things in their own way, right? Okay, because let me explain this in Hindi. See, so हम सबसे पहले हमारा V8 इंजन आता है. जब भी हमारा कोई जावा स्क्रिप्ट की हम कोड लिखते हैं जावा स्क्रिप्ट में, सबसे पहले हमारा V8 इंजन आए. V8 हमारा सिंगल थ्रेड है. V8 हमारा सिंगल थ्रेड में रन कर रहा है. करेक्ट. उसने क्या किया, इंटरप्रेटेड उस लैंग्वेज को इंटरप्रेट किया. इंटरप्रेट करके उसने ऐसे कोड हमें प्रोवाइड करा दिए जो कि C++ समझ सकता है या C समझ सकता है. उसने उस कोड को libub को पास कर दिया. Now the JavaScript is free. Now it is ready to take the another task. Correct? That is the JavaScript part and Node.js part. Now the libub is the one where we have written the C and C++ code, who is going to talk or interact with our operating system. Because libub has lot of dependencies. See, it's not only with the Node.js. Every language do the same. Java also has the similar thing. Java has created their own thing. Java have first compiled thing. Now Java has to do, and Java has to some things, right, which could be interact with operating system. Every language has these things. In the Node.js, libub do that part, and libub has all the things which could be interact with the operating system. That's all you guys should be know about the libub. Nobody is going to ask more than that. I think whatever I told you, that is also already more, because mostly people, whatever they ask in the interview, they ask about what libub is doing. The libub provides you asynchronous behavior, how that is doing. And for that, we have to know about the event loop and callback queue and some of the system level APIs. Only that part everyone is asking. But I just thought to tell you that these particular things are done by libub, right? So now when you will see, when somebody is asking about you to about the internal part of Node.js, you can say that Node.js has three things. Like Node.js has a main language, then it has two very core things, which one is the V8, second one is the libub. V8 do all the interpret things. Here all the single thread is running, and the libub does all the operating system interaction. All the asynchronous things are done by the libub. So that's what I want to tell you guys, these things. Let me see other thing as well. This is why Node faster than Dino, as it is written in C++. Not sure about the Deno right now, but I haven't worked with the Deno. But yeah, there are some discussion going on between the Node and Deno, so I have to look into that one. But I'm not sure about the faster thing. Nilanjan, it is necessary to learn about all the dependency level Node.js. Yes, it is just for extra knowledge. No need to learn these things. Just you need to remember about the event loop and the structure. How I have showed you the visualization. That visualization should be in your mind. No need to remember about the live of anything. Just this is for extra knowledge. I thought to share with you. Shanwar was saying, SEP, waiter, customer in restaurant. Oh yes, yes, that could be example. You could be saying it right. SEP, it could be our like customer could be our the main JavaScript files we can say, and the waiter could be our the the single thread which we are talking, and SEP could be the liver who is doing the everything, who is doing the internal things. So I think we can take the analogy from here, right? Okay. Now, thanks, Ankit. So I think yeah, that's all. I think let me see my notes if I have missed anything. Yes, I think that's all we have to know theoretically about the Node.js. Now let's start some programmatically. Let's try to understand now programmatically Node.js, right? And then we will like try to understand more how, because see, this is all the theoretically part which people ask in the Node.js. After that, they start asking how, like in the server, how are you going to create the server? What is the like how are you going to manage sessions? How are you going to do authentication? How are you going to do authorizations? How are you going to read files? How are you going to like interact with the streams? Now they will start asking these type of questions. So now with Node.js, I have seen only these type of questions they have asked, right? In which low level will JS converted? No, actually, low level in which low language will JS converted? So JS will be converted in C++, right? So the V8 is the one who is converting everything. So V8 has been written in the C++. Okay, now we will start. Now let's see the slide. According to slide, whatever we have covered, and then we will move further from there. I think that was only the basic knowledge about all about the Node.js. Now we will move further. I think you guys should feel confident here that we are good with the Node.js. And these are the 6 things you guys should remember all the time about the Node.js. And I also showed you visualization. I think that would also make the picture clear how Node.js is working. And all other extra knowledge, if you guys are forgetting, that's fine. You just remember the names. That's also fine. Okay. So let's see about the slide. So I think we have covered the introduction to Node.js. Okay, so now they are saying to create the first file. So we will do that. Node.js ecosystem. We have already covered this thing. As I think now you will be able to understand these things, right? As you can see in the libop, we have event queue and all the event loop as well. That's what I told you, right? In the libop, we have these things, and this like V8 we have here for our single thread. Correct? Okay. Now let's move further. Okay, now I think yeah, the now other programming is starting. So let's see. Let me share my screen and let's create a small like Node.js. Let's create. See, what was the purpose of Node.js? To run JavaScript outside of browsers. So that's what we will do. So everyone has installed Node.js in their system. If Okay, so somebody was asking, is a difference between Node.js and VS Code? Oh, both are so apart. VS Code is editor, like the Notepad and Atom. There are Sublime. These are editor where we write code. They provide you like the ways to write code. They provide you some of the like like extensions, so you can easily write codes. So that's all about the editors, right? And VS Code is an editor, and I personally feel VS Code is the best one to use as a coding expert, like coding. Some people use Sublime as well, and some Python person use Jupyter Notebook, or like they have used to also use Atom. So these are, but as a JavaScript developer, I would suggest you guys to use VS Code as an editor, because a lot of extensions provided by VS Code are nice, and like a lot of things you can do directly here. You can easily debug the code as well in the VS Code. So that's the difference. And Node.js, you already know that, right? Node.js is a runtime environment for running the JavaScript file. So both are different. Yes, it provides the auto suggestions as well. I agree. I agree. So yeah, so we are good. And now our first task is, after talking about this much theory, now we will start looking into the code thing. How how can we read? How can we run JavaScript outside of browser? Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. So let's close everything here. This is the Visual Studio Code. Let me open it like from the starting, so that would make somebody like some more sense, right? This is how the Visual Studio, once you will open, this will open like this, right? And then uh, you can open any folder from here. So before that, we have to create one folder, right? So let's create one folder. Let me go into the desktop. I'm just doing very simple way. Everyone can do it like this, right? I'm using Apple right now, so like it is similar, right? Nothing different there. So I'm just created a new folder, and I'm just saying it's like Node.js project, something like that, right? Node.js, right? Now I've created this folder in my desktop. Now we will go into the Visual Studio. Let me come back to the screen. Let me see if you guys are able to see it or not, because it happens, right? Can you see my screen, guys? Okay, great. So now, okay, so we have created the folder in desktop. So now we will click on the open here, right? And now we will choose that folder. And I went to the desktop, and I will search for the Node.js, which I created the folder. Yeah, that was our folder. And then we will open it here, correct? Right now, this is our folder. Now there are the options. Now we can create a new file here, new folders and everything. I think you guys have already gone through here in the basic class. I think you guys have done this thing. So I will just go a little bit. I will just skip this part. If you guys have any queries, let me know about this. So let me create the first file here, index.js. Every time if you are creating any of the JavaScript files which is going to run outside of browsers, you have to provide the extension as .js, correct? This is our JavaScript file, correct? Now we are going to run console.log. Hello, I am calling outside from browser. Like I'm saying, I'm outside from browser. Simply, I'm outside from browser. Right? This is our JavaScript file, which we want to run outside from browser, correct? So now we have went to the, see, this is the easy thing, right? You can see in the terminal, in the same Visual Studio Code, and let me see if I can increase the size a little bit also. Yeah, I think now it will be visual for you guys, right? Okay, so Vikas is saying he's not aware of this. So because it's just a simple editor, you can download it in the from the Google Visual Studio, and it's a very easy step. And like you can find some blog as well, simply how to install Visual Studio Code. You can simply find it out. Even if still you face any problem, let me know. I will just show you how to do that. Yeah, or you can connect to me separate from this class, and then we can do the installation. Otherwise, it's very easy. Don't need to do anything. You just need to download the binary and follow whatever it is saying, and it'll automatically install in your system, right? After that, so now what we need to do, we have opened a terminal here. And how can we open it? We can directly open it from here. We can directly go into terminal and new terminal, we can say. Otherwise, in the Apple, as you can see here, I have to click command and tick. It will open. And similar in the Windows, I think control and tick will open the terminal. You can just read about that instruction here. Whatever it's saying, it will automatically open it, right? After that, once you have opened the terminal and you are in the right, right, like directory, because we are in the Node.js directory, right? You just need to write node and your file name, index.js. That's what you need to do. Now see, how can we identify node is installed in your system or not? You just need to write node, and you can see once you will write node, this arrow will come here, right? Now we can do simple operation here, 4 plus 3, 7, console.log. Simply we can do everything here. That's what I was saying, right? Somebody was asking console.log is a web. No, it's a Node.js part. So Node.js has taken it as a API there. So we can say test. Now test is coming. So this is how we can identify node has installed in your system or not. And how can we close it? Control C. 2 times you have to press Control C, you will come out of it. How can we check the node version? We can check node, my node space minus V. We can check the node version. Right now I am using 14.19.2. In similar way, you guys can also check the node version. Correct? Let me see if you are still able to see my screen. Tell me if you guys are able to see and hear me. Terminal is not working in my system. Have you opened in a similar way as I've shown you? A dark theme. Okay, let me see about the dark theme, because I personally feel working good in the that one. But let me see the settings from where I can go for. I think it should be in the view. Let's see, command palette, open view, extension. Let me quickly search in the Google, and then we can set it. Yeah, how to change dark theme in VS Code. Yeah, we can quickly there. So in VS Code, open the color theme picker, file preference and color theme. Okay, we'll go there very quickly. File, uh, preferences. Preferences are here. No. Okay. Just give me some more minute, guys. Appearance is here. Full screen, gen mode, center layout. Okay. Okay, let me check one more time. Control T. Let me see. Control K. No. I think these suggestions are not working. I think we. Do you guys have any idea about that? In file preferences. So in file, we are not seeing any preferences actually. Are you guys able to see it? No, right? We don't have any preferences here. Okay. Let me check one more time. Oh, you have to go to the code. Okay. Preferences, color theme. Oh, yeah, we got it, guys. Yeah. How does it look like now? Happy? Great. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So what I was saying. So somebody was not able to open terminal. Is it open now? Open. Okay. Great. Okay. So now, as we have already checked the node minus v, and we have also checked how the node is working here. For running this particular JavaScript file, you just need to do node and the file name index.js. And this will be running here. Hello, I am outside from browser. And according to the visualization, this particular line will be going into the call stack. And now call stack has printed the hello, I am outside from browser. That's what only happened with this one line. Correct? We are good here. Everyone is able to do that. I would say that, can you guys also try it? Are you able to run this file? Are you able to see the console? Okay, great. In VS Code, we need Node to run JS. No, actually, if you have installed Node.js in your system, VS Code will automatically pick it. No need to install anything there in the VS Code. It will automatically pick it. Yeah. Okay. Now the next thing, according to our slides, we will understood the modules or import and export. So see, why we need import and export, right? So let me just uh, try to understand. So Ekta joined. So okay. Okay. So now let me show you one thing. Let's create some variables here. So let's create let attempt, correct? And we have, this is an object, and we already know that object has key and value. So this thing, temp could be the name, which could be Arpit, and this same could also have address. Inside write Kanpur, right? Now, and this could can also could be head has one method as well. Although that's fine. Let's keep it these two things, right? Now let's create one function also, which is get temp, right? Or here we are just simply returning hello, I am temp, right? So these are two things which we have written in files, right? Are you able to see my screen, guys? Can you hear me? Great. Okay. So now, yeah. So now these are two things, right? One is our object, one is our function, right? Now let's create one more file, which is uh, like uh, uh, code.js. Correct. This is another file. Correct. Now, in this file, we want to use these two values, temp and get temp, right? Now, and why we need to use it? See, while we are building any project or while we are building any websites, there are some of the repetitive things happen, right? Like the same click method has to be used many times, right? So we cannot write the same click method or same function in each files, right? We need to have some way so we can write the things at one place and use it at any place wherever we want. Guys, see, we do not want to repeat our code in every files which we are going to create in our projects. We should find a way so we can write it at a one place, and then we can use it everywhere. That's what we said, importing and exporting. Importing means import it from some files, and export it means export these things from this particular file. Correct? Let me send. So from the index.js file, I want to export get temp and temp. So now I am exporting. I want to export these things from my file, from this index.js. Correct? And I want to import these things into the code.js. Correct? So that's all about importing and exporting. And how we do that in Node.js, we do that with this way. Module dot export, you need to learn this syntax. Module dot export equal, and we can, because we are going to send two things, we have to pass one object here, right? So temp is already object, but still object already always have key and value. So temp, I can say temp variable. Let's give it another name, temp variable, and I'm assigning value as a temp. That this one, this value I have assigned. Now the second is method. I can say it as a method, and our method is get temp. Correct. Now we have exported these two things, and you guys have to remember these things. Module dot export. You have to remember these things. Module dot export, and it when we are going to do multiple things, when we are going to export multiple things, we need to follow the object. If we are going to export only one thing, we can simply export the temp from here. Right now, we will see how can we import it. So for import, you guys also now whatever we are writing, you have to remember these syntaxes, and these syntaxes you will be remembered while practicing. So no need to like in one day only to remember everything. It's not like that. When you will try practice, these syntaxes again and again will come into while coding. So it's fine. It's fine. Just understand. And one more thing, see, before going to the import and export, let me tell you what is module, because I have brought module.export. See, I was talking about export, I was talking about import. Why I brought module here? So let me explain that also. Let me still see if as are you still able to see my screen or not? Are you guys able to see? Okay, yeah. So okay, so Aradhya was asking in single, can you repeat? Okay, okay, let me show you. If we are talking about single, we can simply do this temp. We do not need to, because we are just thinking, we just want to export one property from here. We don't want to export get temp. When we want to export only one property from file, we can simply export that one. Not the, but when we want to do multiple things, then we have to go with the object approach this way. Right? Okay. This was about the single and the multiple things, right? Now, why we have brought module here? Okay, so now you guys have to remember in Node.js, every file is one module. In Node.js, every file is one module. Now you will say, what is module, right? And in our further screens, we are going to discuss about modules, but let me tell you, modules in Node.js are simple, like libraries. You know about the libraries? If you guys have heard about jQuery, if you know about the jQuery, so jQuery is a library. What jQuery does? jQuery provides you some of the methods to you, so you can easily do DOM manipulation. Otherwise, HTML5. Just try to understand this example. I am just trying to just trying to explain you why we need modules, right? So I'm trying to tell you this with the example of jQuery. jQuery provides you some of the methods or some of the features so that you can easily do the interaction with HTML DOM. It just simply, if somebody has worked with that, so it just simply provide dollar dot get click get method. Otherwise, HTML5 already provide that. HTML5 already provide those methods, but you have to write a lot of syntax for that. It's not easy for developers. So in similar way, these libraries or modules helps you to do your task easily. So they provide you some collection of methods, some collection of properties, so you can simply import them and then use it. So that's why in Node.js, every file is module. You can export multiple functions from there, which might be help you to do some of the tasks in easy way. That's why in Node.js we say it as a modules, and there is three type of modules. Let's discuss about modules first. There is three type of modules: core modules, local modules, and global modules, or not the global, third party modules. Local modules, sorry, let me repeat it again. This, I think you guys should remember this thing. People ask in interview as well. First thing, in Node.js, every file is module. You guys have to remember this thing. In Node.js, every file is module. Okay. Now the second thing, and there is three type of modules in Node.js. One is core modules, which Node.js provides you. Node.js automatically provides you these modules. Once you will install Node.js, this module will automatically install. Those modules are called core modules. Examples are FS module for reading the file, FS module. Guys, just I just deviated from the topic because I was just want to explain you about the module. Just try to uh, cope up with me, because earlier we were discussing about the export and import, but I just moved to the module. I just try to like keep this export and import for there. Let's try to understand first module, because in the export we are using module. So that's why I want to explain a module first to you guys. Okay, let me again repeat myself. In Node.js, every file is a module, and there are three type of modules in Node.js. One is the core module, second one is the local module, third one is the third party modules. Core modules are those modules which Node.js provides us, like FS, HTTP. There are more, right? You can remember one or two names, FS and HTTP, right? There are zlib also, I think, but I have to check. But yeah, these two I remember. Path is also there. I remember these three right now. And you guys should also remember, interviewer ask what are the core modules which Node.js provide you. So you can remember FS, HTTP, and path. These three you can remember. These are the core modules. Second one is the local module. Local module which we create, like the file which I was sharing with you. This file. This is one local module. Okay, because I told you in Node.js every file is module. So this is local module. Okay. Third one is the third party module, which other developers who have seen that these are the common functionalities everyone can use, so they have created those modules, and those modules are not available. You have to install those modules. In the JavaScript, when we want some other things, sorry, in the Java, we just like write those things in XML, right? If you guys are aware of Java, in Java we simply write things in XML file, and like all the dependencies, and then we download those binaries from what we downloaded them and put it in our projects. In similar way, there are also in Node.js we have third party modules. There are those third party modules other developers, other open source developer has created. So you can rather than you create everything, you can simply install them and use them. These are three type of modules. Any question, guys, here? Just for understanding the modules, core modules, and local modules, and the third party modules. And the very important thing, which is very important, and that important is that, and that point is, every file in Node.js is a module. It's a local module, correct? Okay, so what are core modules? Core modules are those modules which Node.js automatically brings when you install it in your system. And those modules are HTTP, FS, path, and there are more. You do not need to externally install it. See, you can create your module, that module is called as local module. You can install externally, those called third party. And those some of the modules which automatically comes with the Node.js, those are core modules. Okay, and define the modules. Modules are, as I told you, these are collection of methods or properties which helps you to do some of the tasks in easy way, right? Okay, what is DOM? I think it is some other topic, but DOM is document object model. When we see the web page in our browsers, it is DOM actually. When we see it into the console, that is a DOM. It just represent whole web page in an object model. It's a separate topic. We should not discuss about more about a DOM here. Okay, sure, guys. I think we can have a break. But before break, do you guys have any question on modules? Okay. Like we have predefined function, we can call them as a part of core modules. Yes, we have predefined. See, every time module brings the functions. In modules, we write the functions, right? Like I was trying to create this local module. Local module has function, right? So rather than saying that predefined method, we can say that these are modules. Now we will talk about the module. This file is a module, and this module has this function which he wants to export. That's why we are writing module.export. This particular module wants to export these things. Correct. So now we will discuss more about this after break. Okay, guys. So right now it's 9:40. So we will connect back on 9:55. Okay. Sure, because I will tell you about the after break. Yeah. Okay, guys. So we'll meet after 15-minute break. Yeah. So I hope everyone is back. We will wait for 1 more minute and then we will start. क्या जानना है तुम्हें विकास? क्या था क्वेश्चन तुम्हारा विकास? Sir, any book or website for Node.js you prefer? Oh, okay. So see, so this is for everyone that there is very nice book. First, it's about JavaScript, not specifically about Node.js, but and that book name is You Do Not Know JS. Let me write it. I would recommend everyone because this book has multiple chapters or multiple I think like there are more than 8 or 9 books they have released, and those books are only talking about specific chapters. Like in one book they are only talking about scopes, in one book they are only talking about async and await. So I would suggest everyone to purchase this book and read it in their free time, because as we are working with Node.js or any of JS framework. Yesterday, if you're going to work on front end as well, you should be aware first. You should be fully aware of JavaScript. After that only you guys can read and develop new things in the Node.js or in React.js, right? Okay, so that was about the JavaScript. And talking about the Node.js, so uh, I haven't seen. So yeah, for JavaScript, there is one more channel in YouTube that's called Akshay Sani. If you guys follow LinkedIn, so Akshay Sani has given very nice explanation or very nice lectures about JavaScript. So I would say to watch those lectures and also read this book. Whatever missed in his lecture, you will find little bit deeper in the books. So I would suggest watch these two things to understand more about the JavaScript. And talking about Node.js, I generally feel that it's better if you follow the Node.js documentation. They have like large documentation, but they provide good examples there. So Node.js doc is better. Otherwise, you could just like if you're not able to understand any of the things, you could just simply go and watch YouTube videos. I don't have any favorite there, so that's why you could follow in your language. I think right now a lot of videos are in Hindi as well or in their own language, their regional language as well regarding the Node.js. So prefer that. Okay, so now coming back again, can you hear me now? What about now, Suraj? Okay, great. So yeah, so yeah, we were discussing about modules, and the important line which I told you guys that module in Node.js, every file is a module, correct? And in Node.js, there are 3 type of modules. One is local module, second one is the core module, third one is the third party modules. Local modules are those modules which we develop, because we have in in our projects we are going to create multiple files, and as we are saying that each file is a module, so it means we are going to create multiple local modules. So right, those are the local modules. And then there is a core module which Node.js brings when we install it into our system, like FS module, HTTP, and path. These are some core modules which Node.js brings. And there are some third-party modules as well, which we will discuss later, but those we need to externally install. We have to externally install, and I will tell you those commands when we will installing, when we will using those third-party modules. Okay, guys. So that was all about the modules. Now we will come back to the export and importing. Why we have jumped into the modules? Because let me share my screen. Because if you remember, yeah, while exporting, I have used the module.export. So that's why I jump into the module and explained you guys that's the reason for keeping module dot here, because this file is one module in Node.js and we are trying to export some of the things from this module, because module always exports some things. It also imports some things, but right now we are just exporting it. And what we are exporting? We are exporting this temp value variable and we are exporting this get temp method. Now I will go into the next file and show you guys how we can import these things now, right? So now for importing, we have to do const, like whatever variable we can take. And because this is an object, and we are writing require. You have to write require, and then you have to tell the file from where you are going to import it. So this is require and index. And as you can see, VS Code will already automatically help you, right? This index, it's not like any other thing. It's the VS Code who is helping you to find the files. Now see, I will just write the first letter test. Automatically, I will see temp variable is there. This is VS Code which is helping us. So temp variable, because temp variable we are exporting, right? If I go to the earlier file, we are exporting two things, temp variable and method. So now we will see temp variable, comma, method, right? Now we can just print this. So now this is another module. We can say this code.js is another module, because in Node.js, every JavaScript file is a module. Let me see, are you guys able to see my screen or hear me or not? Okay, great. File should be in the same folder. Yes. No. It's not like that. File should be in the same folder. File could be anywhere, right? You can provide the path. Like right now, if we create one more folder here, the name was test, and keep this code.js, index.js there, it's still not a problem. You see, VS Code automatically does for you. It will take that path. So file could be anywhere, right? Okay. Okay, repeat import, and Nishant was asking, so we have defined the data type and then calling it back, right? We haven't defined the data type. No. We have, we are, we have defined one function here. This is our function, and we have defined our one object, and we want to export these objects. And we cannot export like, because we want to export multiple things. That's why we are keeping the structure like this, key and value. This is the key temp variable which will be providing us this object to us. This is our method, which if we will call this method will call get temp here. Correct? So and when we are trying to import it, we have to follow this structure, require, and that file which we are trying to import, and then whatever the values we want to import from there. We can only import those things which we are exporting. So we were exporting temp variable and method, and in these variables we were exporting these values, temp and get temp, right? So let me print it out in front of you. Then it will make better sense. So temp variable, temp variable, right? And here we are printing method, right? Let's print the method also. And we will call that method. Let's call this thing. How can we call it? We just need to run node code.js. Here you can see, hello, I am outside from browser. This is the thing which we ran. Hello, I am outside from browser. Now we are printing the temp variable, this part. And as you can see in the temp variable, same values are coming which we have printed. Temp, where I printed name and address. And then in the method, I was returning hello, I am temp. You can see hello, I am temp. These things were. So the simple thing which we need to understand here, how to export or how to import. That's what you need to learn, because these things importing, exporting, we are going to do at many places, right? Because in Node.js we are going to create multiple files, and once we are going to create multiple files, it means we are going to create multiple modules, and once we are going to create multiple modules, we need to import and export. And the reason for exporting, because we want to use those functions, right? Because module has a collection of functions, so we want to use it. So that's why. So this thing no need to remember. It's just the syntax you need to remember, because we are going to import and export so many places. So that's why you guys have to remember this syntax. While exporting, you have to use module.export. If you are exporting single thing, you can simply write module.export is equal to that temp, like whatever the single thing you are exporting. And if we are exporting multiple things, we need to follow the object structure, key and value. And then while importing, as I already showed you, const, and whatever we are exporting, we can simply import it. Okay, let's take that question now. Okay, so these are key values. Now got it. Yes, that particular object is key value. Method is for, okay, let me show you one more thing. Okay, if this thing is confusing you, you can simply take any variable here, like import variable. Now this import variable is an object, right? Which is having two things. One is a temp variable and method. Because this is an object, right? This is an object which we are exporting. The same will be now assigned to import variable. So now import variable is having the same value, like this. Right? Now we can do import variable dot temp variable and import variable dot method. So this is simple an object, right? Import variable dot temp variable, import variable dot method, and let me run it. See the same output. So rather than that, what I did, I uses the destructuring, which is the JavaScript concept. Rather than keeping the whole object name, I just directly fetch it temp variable, comma method. This is the destructuring. So nothing, no new, nothing like a new data type or anything like that. You just need to remember this module.export. Otherwise, everything is it's a JavaScript object where we are having key and value. Here we are simply using the JavaScript destructuring. But the thing which you need to remember, which is the require, this thing you have to use for importing and exporting. Let's take the question again. Vikas was saying, sir, I'm not friendly with the. Okay, let me take the earlier question also. Method is for function. Yes, yes. That method is a key, and value is the temp variable function. That method is a key, and that value is a temp variable. Correct? Should it only be in a const? No, no. See, const, let, destructuring, all these things are JavaScript. By the way, the good practice is always use const, but it's not like that. It can change, it can differ. We will see how it is going to differ. These all things are JavaScript. The important thing in the context of Node.js, that is module.export and require. All other things which we did, that's all are JavaScript. Okay, guys? Sir, I'm not friendly with the VS Code. Can you please let me know everything after the class or some other days? Sure. I would suggest you, because like first try to install the VS Code and try to follow some of the YouTube videos. And if you still face problem, let's connect after the call. You can just ping me on the LinkedIn, then we can connect. And I can show you, I can answer your queries, whatever you had. Okay. This he was asking, we exported only temp and function, then why hi got printed? Okay, let's see. We exported temp and function, then why hi got printed? Okay, so you're talking about the first line, right? This one, hello, I am outside from browser. So see, once we are requiring any file, the whole file will be imported into the this file. See, the whole module will be imported, and this line is like synchronous line. It's not like funsor or any other thing. This line is a synchronous. If somebody is calling this particular module, and if somebody has put it something as a synchronous, all these things will be running there. So see, let's take a simple example. If we have here one okay, that's a good thing actually. You got it. So let me show you one more thing. Yes, print fn, right? And this print fn is doing console.log. Hello, I am print fn, right? And let's call the print fn here, correct? Right? Now we can see this print fn is synchronous, right? Anytime somebody is calling this file code.js, these things will be running every time, right? Because now we have called it printfn, we have called it. Now whoever is calling this code.js, these things will be running it. So let me show you. If I simply run node index.js, okay, so now index is in test folder. So let me node test slash index. You can see index is not in the root folder, right? I am in the node.js root folder. But now we have moved the index.js to test. So that's why we need to provide the folder path node slash index.js. Now you can see, hello, I am outside from the browser. This is the console because this is a synchronous things. Whoever is calling this file, these things will be automatically run because we have made these lines in this way, correct? Now, and that's what it's happening here also. We want these lines to run. That's why we are keeping in it this way, because once we are requiring this whole file will be imported to call stack. This whole file will be imported to call stack, and only these two things will be exported from here. Exported means once this file is in, see how things will work. Let me show you. Let me visualize it in front of you. Okay, see, this is our, we can say we have two files here. One is code.js, second is index.js, correct? Right? And now we ran command as a node index.js. Okay, right? Now, and we require this file here, correct? We require this file here. Like, let me show the code exact. Yeah, what we did. Yeah, in the code.js, we require the index.js. Yeah, in the code.js, we require the index.js. So index.js, we can say, has console, correct? It has a console. And now we are requiring this file here. You know what will happen? All the code of this file will be imported there, correct? All the code of this file will be imported there first. In the call stack, in the call stack, first the index.js will come, whatever the index.js line is, and that first line is require in index.js, require code.js. Okay, wait. I think this is not the index.js. We are calling the node code.js. Let me just correct that thing. Yeah. So we are importing the code.js. We are running the code.js. So first here, code.js will come, right? And the first line of code.js is index.js. Import the index.js. So now whole index.js, yeah, the require part, yeah. So require part will come. Now once the require part will come, require will bring all the things from here to the call stack. Yeah, so all the things which is written in the index.js will come to the call stack. So now the first line was console.js. So that's why in the call stack, first line console.logren. Then the next line was our function. That's the function like printfn that got called, correct? Printfn that got called, and after that we have seen that module.export, right? We are exporting two things from here. So now this all things will be cleared here. Now this all things will be cleared, right? And now for executing this step require, once the require will be completed, then for the next line, when the next line will come, and the next line was console.log print temp variable. At that time we will be having two things here which we have exported from the earlier package, like we will having the temp variable here and method variable, method key, these two things. Now these two things will be available for whole file of index.js. So that's how the importing and exporting works. Once we are importing anything from the any file, then that whole file will be first come to the call stack. And if something is written there like console.log or printfn, those all line will be executed. And then whatever we are exporting, that exporting will be linked for the current file, right? Because see, from the code.js we have started our node.js execution, right? Code.js is the parent one, right? Then we went to the child one, and from the child one, what we brought the two things only: temp variable, whatever we are exporting, and then those export things we can use in the current file. That's how the require works. Okay guys, so let me show you one more time the example that will make little bit things clear here. So yeah, you can see here. So this was our code.js, and let me remove the test and simply keep the index.js outside, and let me delete the test here, which will make little bit things easier for you. Okay, this is our index.js file. This is one module which was doing the console.log, doing the printfn method it was calling here, and then it is exporting two things: get temp and temp, correct? For other modules. Now in the code.js we want to import this file. So once we write this line of code, the whole file of index.js will come to the call stack. And once this index.js will come to the call stack, the first line this will be executed. Next, these things will be executed, and these things will go into the heap, memory heap. Then this function will come, and this will be executed in call stack. Then printfn will be called, right? Then these things will called. Then at the end, we will see only these things we are exporting. Now these two values will be the return value of this require line. And now these two values, whatever we exported, will be available in this whole file, which is right now in the call stack. Did you guys understood this thing? Okay, let me run it again. Node code.js. Now see, once we running the node code.js, this whole file will be moved, this whole lines of code will be moved to call stack. And the first line is this: require index.js. So that's why the first thing which is going to be running in the call stack will be the require index.js, and which is this file. So first line this will be executed, then printfn will be executed, then we will import these two things, then it will come into the next one, next line 4. In this way, this thing will work. So let me show you. So that's what is happening. Hello, I am outside from browser. Hello, I am printfn. These two things are coming index.js. This and this, and then the temp variable and method is coming. Let me show you one more thing. Let's create one more file. Let's create third.js, right? It is also having one console.log. Hello, I am third file. Okay, now we will call this file. We will simply call it. We will not execute it. We will simply call it from the index.js, right? We are not exporting anything. So we'll just simply do require. We are not exporting anything. We'll just call, okay, this is not good. It is just taking things automatically, right? Oh, set. Wait, guys. Let me take the const temp equal to require third, right? You want to require third. Now we can remove this thing. We do not need this. Correct. So now we are just requiring third. So now how call stack will work? First code.js will require this file. Now call stack will come to the index.js, and then the first line will be executed that the import the third.js. Now we should be seeing this message as a first. Let me run in front of you. Node code.js. Let me clear it and run in front of you. Yeah, let me increase the size so you guys can see it a little bit better. You can see the first hello I am third file, then this file has been lost its scope, has gone out of call stack, then the hello I am outside from browser, hello I am printfn, and then it will come back to the original file, which is here temp variable and method. I hope this clears your doubt, guys. Nilinder, are you still having doubt on this? Okay, repeat. Let me repeat it. So, guys, first try to understand how the things are loading in call stack, how the JavaScript loading these things, right? Whenever we are requiring any of the file in another file, we are bringing whole code of that file, correct? And see, and in that whole code, whatever we have written, the whole things will be executed, right? Now, let me share my screen again. What Dipanshu is asking, what if we do require part twice? Will console.run log run 2 times or it will show error? I think it should run 2 times. Let's try this. Right now we are exporting index 2 times. Let's see what will happen. Hello, I am third file. Hello, I am outside from browser. Hello, I am printfn. Okay, so what happened in this case, because we have already import, is screen not visible? Okay, wait. Let me share my screen, guys. Are you guys can see my screen now? Yes. Okay. So now what will happen in this case, because we have used the require 2 times. So, but because JavaScript is smart and it has seen that we have already imported the require, so it will just ignore this line because it doesn't make any sense, right? We have already imported whole of index file. Why would we need this file to import it again? Correct. So that's why it will ignore this line. So let's try to run this code and let's see what will happen here. It will throw error or what will it do? What will it do? So as you can see, it is just running it 1 time because we have already imported the index file once. So all the things already, whatever this file is exporting to us, we have already used it. We have already taken it out. So then do not need to, it does not need, and it does not make any sense also. Why we see, if we already imported something from there in the same file, why we are exporting it, why we are importing it again? For that, we need to first remove the importing. See, internally what it will do, it will create a link, right? Once see, okay, let me tell you things like how internally this is working. Once we are uploaded the call, let's see, once this file are coming to the call stack, now the call stack has ran everything, right? Okay, let me explain it through the slide. That will make better things, right? Okay, so now this is our index.js, correct? Now this is our code.js, and this is our third.js, which we have recently created, correct? Now try to understand the call stack, how call stack is working here. This is our call stack. Correct? Okay. Now we have started our process with code.js. Node code.js. Correct? Now code.js comes into the call stack. And the first line was require. Correct? First line was require. And what require? Require the index.js. Whole content of index.js will be put it into the call stack. Okay. Now the first line was like we can say, now this require is imported all content of index.js, and the first line was console. First line was again require. It was again require for the third.js. Correct. So now whole content of third.js will be imported here, and now the third.js is importing a console.log, right? So now console.log will be printed here. Now in our like this is our console, this is our terminal where we are seeing the console. So now third.js will be printed first. Third.js will be printed first, correct? Now third.js will be empty out from here, correct? Now require part of this also completed. Now we will go for second line in the code.js, index.js, and that was again console. So now console.log again fine, console.log we did. Then print fn will come, right? Now print fn is executed. Now we are exporting two things, which is we are exporting one object, temp variable and method. These are two objects which we are exporting, correct? Now what will happen in require stage, because this is the code, there will be memory, right? Which will create a link, between these two files, because we are creating a link. Whenever we are doing these things in our memory heap, we are creating a link from code.js to index.js and index.js to third.js. So if why we are creating a link, this was index.js. Why we are creating a link? Because whatever value we are exporting, we can simply fetch it from here anytime. So that's why we are creating a link, and that's why when we are going to require index second time, it's already imported. It's already imported. So that's why the second time the things which are written in the index.js will not be running here, because we have already created the link between these files in our memory heap. So two things are happening here. One thing happening in the call stack. Call stack is running whatever written in that file, and in the memory heap we are creating the linking between the files, right? That's how these things work. I think it's very simple to understand. Whenever you are exporting something from the files, you have to import it another file, right? And whatever you are going to write inside this the exported file, all the things are going to run. You need to remember these things, correct? Whatever you are going to write in the exported file, all the things are going to run if you are going to import this file. Okay, guys. So let's see if what are the questions you have. What if at first we will import only temp variable, and on second if we will import method. See, you have to import. See, you if you want to import first this and second time that, that's fine. You can bring it. You can bring both things at the same time. Then you can use it according to your own way, right? See, in this case, why you want to import the method second time later? Because you want to use it, right? So the Node.js is saying while you are importing, you import everything at one time. Otherwise, do not import at all. Otherwise, import only temp variable. Do not import the method part. If you are going to use the temp variable in the method in the same file, then import it on the top, then do the calculation part, because in the importing we need to make the connections, and that connections happens only in the starting. That's why if you will see any projects, that's why first we need to require everything, then we need to do the main logic. Why we need to do require? Like if you are working with the Java projects, sorry, C projects, you have seen that has include studio.h, has include conio.h, right? The standard input. Why we do it? It is on the top, because we bring all the connections, all the connection related things on the top. Then we do start doing the calculation. That's why whatever things we are going to use in our file, we have to import it on the top, then only do we start then only start doing our calculation. Because in meanwhile, while doing calculation, you might need these things. If you will do import at that time, then your process, see, in OS what happened, let's just understand the operating system part here. Very easy way. In operating system you have one thread, right? And that thread is dependent on two other things, correct? Now this thread has been come from JavaScript to the C++ part, and now this thread is going to run in the OS part, correct? And at that time you realize that you need some resources. Then what will happen? Now you have to put that thread into the pending queue and then go for resources and find out the connection. This is not how the things work in the programming world. Whatever you think, whatever your particular projects or what your file need to execute, you need to bring all the things on the starting, and then you need to keep these things every time and send it with the thread. So that's how things work here. That's why we need to import everything at the top, and then we have to do the calculation and logic part. That's what we are doing here. Let me take the next question. So, sir, when we say require, it means it will execute the file.js line by line first. Yes, it will execute the file line by line. That's true, because it is going into the callback, call stack. So it will do line by line. So heap store the object and JSON data. Yes, it's objects. Yes, it stores the objects. You store your variables. Everything it stores. With the memory related steps, everything happen on the heap memory. No, require imports all code of that mentioned file, irrespective of object which we are exported. Yes, imports. See, difference. There is difference. Import and export. It's a different terms. Import and export. You are importing some of the things from there, but in the call stack, everything is running. But in your file, only those things will be available which you have exported and imported. See, in the code.js, you only have access to two things: temp variable and method. You do not have access to any other things, because you are only exporting two things from there. You see, in the code.js file, you do not have access on print fn function, right? You do not have access on, see why console dot, it is not imported. See guys, try to understand, import and export is different thing. Import and export things, you are like delivering thing between each files, right? You from the code index.js, you are exporting two things, which is temp variable and method. Why are you exporting? Because other files can use it. This is the meaning of export and import. Export means some of the things from my file which other file can use it. That is the meaning of export. So from the code.js, I have exported only two things: temp variable and method. These two things, other file can use it, other file can import it and then use it. That is the purpose of import and export. But while requiring that file, whatever written in that thing, all things will be executed, right? Because of that particular file will be loaded in call stack. And that's why whatever we are, see, sometime we need to do some logic also, right? Like we want to see the time. Let's try, let's not make this thing complicated. Just try to understand that. First try to understand import and export. And while we are importing things, whatever written in that file, everything will be executed. Okay guys, and why it is executing? Because that particular file is coming to the call stack, and in call stack every line will be executed. Understood? And we are not exporting. If you are, see, if you guys are trying to remember this thing, that whatever we are importing, only that part should be executed. So that's only, see, importing and exporting purpose is just to transfer things, not to execute. Those two things are different. Importing and exporting, it means the things which we are going to share between files, right? And execution is different. Executing, like all these things which are written in that file will be executed. Okay guys, are we clear here on the import and export thing? Okay. See, import and export is very easy. See, if I have an implement, just try to understand import and export just for sharing the data between files. And while we are sharing the data, whatever file we are requiring, that whole file will be executed. Okay. In import, every line is executes. Yes, in import, every line executes, but only import what we are exporting. In import, whatever file we are importing, every line will execute there, but we'll be exporting only, we can import only those things which are export from that file. Correct? Because see, it's very simple. If you just see it into the visualization part, so it's a connection, right? It's like recursion call. If you are aware of the recursion call, once if we have one method, and then we are calling another method from there, then we are calling another method from there. That's all happening. And when we are calling a method, whatever written in that method will be executed. And then in that method, we have provided one more feature, and that is exporting and importing. Only these two things you can take out from this file. This file will be executed properly, but only these two things you can take out from this file. That's what the import and export is doing. So it is not mandatory to import just a multiple value. We can import one value and all the code will execute automatically, right? Absolutely. All the code will be executed automatically. But we want to use those two things in other files also. That's why we were exporting it. Correct? Are we clear, guys, here? So just make it very simple. Okay, somebody was raising a hand. So let's, Ekta was raising it. Yeah. Yeah, Ekta, please tell.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are.
So I had this doubt, say, so as like many people mentioned that the entire file that we are importing that would be executed, but we'll only be able to use the particular values that we destructed and sort of imported. Okay.
Correct.
So my doubt here is that suppose if there is a file, so in
Mhm.
that file it is better to create only those functions or let's say objects that will be required, or else when we execute some particular file, some unnecessary code like some unnecessary console.log will be executed. So you're just giving an example here, right? But in it is good practice to only mention that code that would be required.
Absolutely, Absolutely. Because see, we should not write the irrelevant code, because as you have seen that that is going to be executed in call stack, and
Hmm.
it might stuck. If something is not going to execute, it might like block your call stack as well. So that's
Yes.
why only write those things which are like
Valuable.
necessary
Huh.
for your modules to export. So
For
that's
pursuits.
totally true.
Okay, sir. So, it might also happen that we will get some incorrect output when we are, writing on it on some platform.
Mhm.
So it will get unnecessary output. So it's better to, just make use of the like a code that is required for our purpose. I understood,
Correct.
sir. Okay,
Correct.
thank
Correct. Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's move further on this. Okay. So now we have completed the import and export, right? Okay. So now we will come into the npm part. Okay, now we will now see, earlier I told you, right, there is three type of modules, right? One is the local modules which we are creating, second one is the core modules, and third one is the third party modules. So all third party modules are developed by open source developer. We as a developer can also create a module, and then we can push it to one repository. Like GitHub has one repository, right, where we can push all of your code. In similar way, npm is one other another repository where we push all of our packages or all of our modules. So npm full form is Node Package Manager. I think it also comes, I think, after 2009 also. I need to check this the dates. It also comes, and it is known as Node Package Manager. It provides all the packages or modules which are needed for Node.js, right? So let me share the screen and show you how npm looks like. So like npm plays a big role while you're creating a project, and npm automatically comes when you download it. Once you download the node.js, npm also comes with that, because npm helps you in a lot of things which you have to do in your projects, because it's a package manager, and definitely you are going to use packages in your projects. So let me open the npm website. So this is the npmjs.com. Here you can search your packages. Let's see, like I'm searching package for fs files or http, right? Simply I will search http. You can see the first thing, http exact match. They will provide you the command npm I http. In this way you can install this particular package in your repo, in your projects. I will show you how to do that, but yeah, in this way. So npm is a node package manager which provides you a way to download open source packages or third party modules. That's what all about the npm. Nobody is going to ask more anything about the npm. You just need to know. And because see why npm is useful, it's not for interview question, it's for developer. Because once you are developing things, you have to go come so many times to npm. You need to find any package, like, yeah, like you're working on the session, so you will search session here. Package regarding to sessions will come in front of you. You can check one by one. Connect mongo is there. You can read about those packages, right? So it's not about the interviewer or any coding problem. It's about your personal development. Once you are developing, you have to come here. Like you're working on auth, where you simply search auth, right? And then you will get regarding a lot of results regarding the auth. You're working in database, simply write database here, right? Then a lot of databases packages will come here. And these are third-party packages which some open source developer has created for you. So you just need to install them in your system, and then you can simply require them. As I told you, every time you have to do require for importing any of the modules. In similar way, these modules will be easily required. I will show you how to do that. Let me see if you guys have any questions or can hear me or not. how do we know that we need specific modules? As I told you, right? You're working on database, you need database modules. You're working on sessions, you need sessions related modules. You're working on the front end, you need front end related modules. So it just depends on your use case, and then simply you can come here and search for it. I think it's like you have to find it out, which package is necessary, which package could help you while developing. It's not like there is one list. They're like, it's not like automatically it will tell you that this package is needed for your case. You need to find it out, and you need to sometimes you need to check a lot of things while selecting any package that somebody is already contributing it, because I have seen like a lot of packages are so old or depreciated, so you have to like very careful while choosing the packages here. Yeah, it's like bit research you have to do. You have to see like issues with these packages. There are some open issues. You should see that somebody is answering those issues or not. Like how old this package is, how many star that package has. Because for same purpose there could be many packages. So you need to like find it out the proper package. Like it happened everywhere. If you're working in the Python or you're working in Java or anywhere, it happen every place. You need to do little bit research, and then you have to select the package. Okay, so that's what about the packages, guys, and that's all the third party one. Let's try to create a small projects, how we do projects, and npm help us a lot there. So let me share my screen, and let's now we are going to create a small projects, right? So let's again create a new folder in desktop. This time I'm going to create it again from here. So let's create a project one. Correct. Now we are creating a project one. Let's add it into our workspace. So we can add it into the same folder in our workspace. Project one. Correct. Now we have added three folders in our workspace. So npm provides you one way to initialize your projects, and that command is similar the node. Npm is also installed automatically in your system. So you just need to do npm-v. You can see the npm version as well, and you do not need to install anything externally for npm. Once you will download node, automatically npm will come into your system. Okay, guys. So you just need to do npm I initialize. So npm will initialize your projects. It will ask some of the questions to you. So okay, npm I is sorry, I have missed the command. It's not npm I. npm I is npm install. npm init. Sorry for that. npm init is there. Okay, guys. Let me tell you. Let me see if you guys can see my screen or not. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to start a project in Node.js, and you have to follow these steps every time when you are going to create a new project. You have to create a folder, and then you have to write npm init. Sorry, I missed the npm I, so just ignore that. Npm init. Once you will do npm init, it will ask what is your package name. Right now it is giving me PayPal Corp/desktop, but let me change it. Okay, I think no. I am right now in the wrong folder actually, desktop. So let me go to the correct folder first. CD project one. Let me clear off. Now I am in the project one, right? That's why it was giving me desktop. Yeah, you can see my path. Now I'm in the correct place. Desktop/project one. Let me now do npm init. Yeah, so now it is giving add PayPal Corp/project. You can actually edit this one also. Correct. Then it is giving a version. What version you are going to be, because continuously first time you made some changes, next time you are making any changes, at that time you need to upgrade this version, right? Somebody is using your package, right? And then you made some changes, and that package version was 1.00, but later on once you are making any changes, you need to upgrade your package as well, right? So other person can identify that till this 1.0.0, these changes was only, these were the changes. After 1.0.0, these are the changes. That's why we need the version field here. Then description, like we can write, this is beginner projects, right? Entry point. So the entry point for your projects, index.js, okay. Is there any test command? Right now it's not there. Any Git repo where we are going to push these projects? No. Keywords like Node.js. We can simply search in GitHub your project. Author, we can write my name right now. And the license is like you are telling that this particular package or module or project belongs to me. So you can purchase that license and put that value here. And only this much information is needed. It will show you it in the one JSON structure, and then you have to say yes. And once you do that, in your project folder, you will see one file has been created. That file is called package.json. And this is very common interview question. Tell me about package.json and some of the properties in package.json. Okay, this is very common question in interview. People ask in Node.js, tell me about package.json, why we need it, and tell me some of the properties of package.json. So the reason for keeping package.json is it tells about our projects. What this project does, what is the initial point. In script, I will show you. In script, we will add some of the commands which will tell how to run this projects, how to run test in this projects, how to do linting in this projects, how to delete some unnecessary part of the unnecessary folder from the projects, how to delete some of the logs from the folders. Those all commands we can keep it here. It will tell about who is the author of this project, which license they are using, what are the keywords. Like with the keywords, we can identify this project belongs to what things. Right now, Node.js, it could be Angular, it could be blockchain, it could be data scientist. Those things we can keep it here. And right now, we do not have dependencies. When we will install third party, like let me install in front of you one third party package, you will see the change here. Or for installing third party package, as I have shown you, the command npm i, right? If you open any of the package, you will see npm i there, right? Yeah, this npm i, right? So in similar way, you can install this. We will install this third party only, npm i auth. Let's install this one. Okay, because I am right now in the VPN, so of PayPal, so that's why it's not let me install it. But yeah, it will. Okay, let me quickly open the VPN. Just wait for 1 minute, guys. Just 1 minute. Yes, now VPN has been connected. Now I will be able to install things. Yeah, let me see. npm I am installing third-party module right now. npm I auth. So now you can see it is connected to internet and trying to install this auth for me. And once it will be installed, I will show you the changes here. What will happen? Let me see if you guys can see my screen or not. Can you see? Okay, Ranjan can say yes. So you can see it is taking a little bit time. Might be some network latency. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to install some third-party module here or package. We simply say it package. So it is taking time to install, but yeah, we will wait. So you can see, yeah. See, as we install the dependencies, then automatically that dependency has come into here as a name of auth 0.0.9 with the version, which version we are installing. Always, if we are not defining any version, it will always install the latest version. Correct? So that's all which we did. And as we install the third-party dependencies, you can see automatically node modules name the folder name node modules come into your projects, and we can see a lot of dependencies which this particular auth package uses automatically came here. And one more thing, we never commit this folder node modules, because wherever we are deploying, wherever we are going to deploy these projects, automatically we will install these all dependencies there. Okay, guys. So this is all about the package.json. Whenever we will install any third-party dependencies, it will automatically reflect here. And when we will install them, we can simply go to the node module and check their dependencies. So that's why, like if you will see any node projects, every time you will see package.json there. Correct? Every time you will see the package.json. And there is one more file, package log.json. What it does, it keeps like the exact version, like whatever dependencies you have installed, like this particular auth also has some internal dependencies. So it will keep all the exact version of all dependencies. You can see version 0.09 from where we have downloaded. So see, package.json keeps the knowledge about our projects, but package log.json keeps the knowledge about our packages. So that's the difference between these two files. People simply ask in interview, what is the difference between package log.json and package.json? So package.json keeps the knowledge about the project, and package log.json keeps the knowledge about the dependencies. Okay, guys. I think yeah, today like it could be a little bit overhead for you. Like we are just continuously discussing new things every time. But let me now stop here and let me revise whatever we have finished today or talked about. So we have started with Node.js, and then we told that Node.js has 6 things. One is the open source. Second one is the runtime environment for JavaScript, and then we tell that it uses V8 JavaScript engine. Then we said that it's asynchronous, it's non-blocking, and it uses single thread. These 6 things we talk about the Node.js. Then we understood asynchronous, synchronous, and the multi-threaded part. Okay, that's what we understood with the analogy and diagram and with the diagram. Then we understood the third part, which was livup, right? Because the livup was very core engine of JavaScript, Node.js, and livup is the one who is doing all the asynchronous work. It has event loop. That much knowledge is enough for livup. Okay. After that, after livup, we jump into the module. What is module in Node.js? Every file in Node.js is a module. Now there is 3 types of modules: local modules, core modules, third-party modules. Local modules, which we were trying to develop. Correct? Core modules, which Node.js brings with us. Node.js brings when we install it. And third-party modules, which open source developer created and push it into npm registry, and then we can. So why they do that? So a lot of things can be easily done. No need to write things on our own, because somebody has already written it. So they are just sharing it with the world. And there is yeah, that's all you can understand about the third-party modules. Then we jump into the export and import. While we were looking into the export and import, we have realized whatever file we are importing, that whole file will be executed. But the things those two files will be sharing, only those things those files will be sharing, which we are exporting and which we are trying to import. Only those things will be executed. Only those things will be imported and exported. But the imported file will be fully executed. Then we understood this thing. Then we went into npm, and then we understood there is one repository which has all the packages or the modules which other or open source developer has created. So we can simply look out there and find it out the best package for our use case, and then install it. Correct? Then after understanding the npm, then we moved into the then we started to create our own project. For that, we created one folder, and when we went into that folder, and then we did npm init. Correct? As we did npm init, mean npm initialize our project. As we done npm init, it has asked 4 or 5 things to us: your package name, your package version, your author, little bit description, some keywords, and license. And then we said yes. And then what we observed, then we observed that one file has been created in our projects, and that file is packet.json. And what is the purpose of packet.json? Packet.json tells about it keeps the knowledge about our projects, like dependencies. It's going to tell this project is dependent on these dependencies. This project, which version we are using right now, which script, which command we are going to run. So in a short word, it keeps the knowledge about it keeps the knowledge about our project. Okay. And then we have tried to install one third party package, auth, there, right? And that package, once we install it with the command npm install auth, we observe there is one node module folder automatically comes into our projects. We haven't created node module package log.json automatically came. And package log.json keeps all the knowledge about the dependencies which we are installing. Package.json keeps the knowledge about our project. Package log.json keeps the knowledge about dependencies which we are installing. And node modules keep those dependencies. If you will look into the node modules, you will see all the dependencies are there. Because see, auth package will also have some of the dependencies. So those internal dependencies will be listed down there. All will be installed. So that's all we have covered today. Let me know if you guys have any questions. So I can see some people are looking for sharing this file with us. I think I would say that you guys try this thing, npm init. Let me write the command which we tried. Npm init. That was the first command. The second command was npm. That was only first command actually. Npm init. And then I tried to install npm install auth. Let me plug on switch on my charger. Just 1 minute. Yeah. Yeah. So these two commands, try to run these two commands, npm init and npm install auth. Automatically you will see whatever I was doing. Once you will do npm init, it will ask some questions to you. You just answer those questions and click yes. Packet.json will be created for you. And then you run npm install auth or any other third party. Go to the npm and search any package, and then try to install that. Try to do these things. Try to install multiple packages like auth, then one more, and then look into the node modules, how it is changing. Look into the packet.log.json, how it is changing. Look into the packet.json, how it is changing. Okay, guys. So let's today we will wrap it up here, and then we will see that tomorrow, like in the next class, we will see if you guys have any queries on that. Okay, for creating project, only folder selected needed. Folder selection needed. Yes, only folder selection needed. Import export code. Okay, 1 minute. Import export code. Then let me give it that. So this is code.js file. This is code.js file. This is index.js file. And this is third.js file. Shreyans, please upload it on GitHub and share. Okay, so Shreyans, from the next class, what we will do, I will create one repo, and then whatever we will do here, we will just commit there directly there. And then I think I will share that repo, and then we will be good, right? Sure, Shams. I will do the same. And if you want that, this one also I will include in the same repo. Sure, I will do also the same. So, so I would request you guys to do the practice on these things, module.export and import part. Try to do the like multiple import and export, and let's see if you let's see on the next class if you face any problems here. Okay, I think we have started good. We have understood Node.js theoretically. We have started understood the more important parts of Node.js in the programming as well, because modules, import and exports are very important concept. And then we started understanding the npm part as well, because npm is the one who is going to create our projects. Now the next thing is starting our server, that we will look into the next classes. Yeah, and try to do these things. I think you have one day, right? So you have one day, so try to do these more and more, and try to do more practice, because see, this module.export and import, you are going to use it many places. So I think we should be very clear about these things. Try to create a small file, try to create multiple objects, multiple variables there, export them, create another file, try to import one by one everything. Let's see how that works. Sure. Okay, guys. So yeah, npm start. I think we have a class for async and await also. Then we will see there. I think our next classes are on the oops concept, which we have in our JavaScript. So, so we will talk about oops as well. Okay, guys. Have a good night. We will meet very soon. Yeah, it was actually today's topic, but we have spent most of the time here in Node and npm. So we will cover in next class. We will try to cover two things, two chapters. Yeah. So yeah, guys. So try to do practice, and we will meet very soon. Have a good night. Bye bye. Thanks, Anand.